Hello and welcome. Welcome and hello. Quick update on things. The past year's been, I know it's rough for everyone, but especially I've just not really had the time to do much in the way of recording. Just a matter of free time in general, but also the house being mostly noisiest for a majority of the time. So a few things. I acquired a new phone toward the end of last year, and I would like to test that out. That's one of the purposes of this recording is to test the audio and visual quality of the capabilities of the phone, basically. Also to just display a few things I collected over the years. Perhaps people aren't aware these things existed at one time, generationally things can change as a matter of just society in general, and the likes and interests of people fluctuate over the years. So these are a few things. They're mostly tobacco accessories in terms of ashtrays, what have you. So we'll get right into it, and then I don't really know that I'm going to have too much commentary on these items. It's more or less just displaying them and kind of giving you an idea of what they are and what they were meant to be. But so we'll start off with this ashtray right here. Got two snakes on it. And I remember you when you didn't have a pit to hiss in. So just as an aside, these are mainly like mildly obscene but meant to be somewhat humorous, amusing items. I would say no newer than the 1970s, made probably 40s, 50s, 60s thereabouts, maybe into the 70s on some of them, but I doubt it. So this one in particular, 1956 on it, and it's ceramic. I just found it amusing, the phrasing on it. And again, these are items, I guess, that are meant to be, for adults to display in their home or to use as, tobacco accessory, essentially. But with a bit of adult humor involved, but not, something that would put off guests if they visited your home. So we'll go with a couple next, like souvenir types. First, you have a bathtub, ashtray, souvenir. We had a tub of fun in Florida. And again, ceramic. I don't believe this one's marked at all as far as a maker, but see, there's some Boyd's on there, state of Florida, and I think that's supposed to be oranges, maybe right there. Palm trees, which may or may not be found in Florida. I have no idea. And again, Florida. Nice brown yellow tone. So there's that one, and then this one is what everyone needs to remember their trip. Is a nice ceramic toilet. This one may have had a sticker on it at one time signifying a maker, but that's since been removed. But yeah, just a nice log cabin scene, floral pattern. There's another Boyd from the Ozarks, and of course, very classy. It says, it tells you to rest your ash. Wonderful. So yeah, that's the toilet theme in particular. Not to spoil anything, but that's quite common from what I've been able to find. So we'll go on to, let's see, this one, which I believe is either a toilet bowl or could be a bedpan, I'm not sure. And it just has a hole in it so you can empty it out. And then it's rounded underneath, kind of help to trap the urine or what have you inside. Yeah, for your butts and ashes. So again, cigarette butts, ashes, that's a common theme. And this one's just marked made in Japan. So moving steadily along. I believe this one could be in the form of a chamber pot. I'm not sure. But ceramic just has places to rest the cigarette or whatnot. Handle on it, that's convenient. And no ifs or ands, only buts. Again, the butt humor is quite excessive. Just marked Japan, and it's actually molded in to the ceramic Japan. So that's pretty neat. And here's one, I believe that was meant to be mounted on a wall in a bathroom. And again, it's a beautifully painted, floral painted toilet with the green and yellow is particularly impressive on that. And you can see it's half a toilet. Again, 1957 on this one. Once had a sticker on it. So it's half a toilet and for our half-ass friends. That's wonderful. I believe the upper compartment, the toilet tank area, was meant to be, you could put matches in there, and then of course typical ashtray, slot, I guess, and then toilet tank, or the toilet lower area for ashing, apparently. So there we are. And then this nice little set, I believe 2 chamber pots and toilet base. They properly marked for what it was supposed to contain. And then a wooden lid, which is nice. Very crude. And just marked made in Japan again. There you go. So yeah, nice bit of detail on it. The glazing, it's pretty decent. Again, the toilet theme, bathroom theme, quite prevalent. So the last one, I believe, of this grouping is by far my favorite. And it looks to be a chamber pot type again. And made in Japan. And then, yeah, when you snuff out a cigarette butt, so this would be a butt snuffer in the shape of a bulbous, I believe, female behind. Yeah. So again, we'll show that one more time. It's by far my favorite. And again, these are meant to be mildly amusing from the time frame. So there you go. And I have a few other things. Just that's mainly the extent of that collection. But I have a few other, we'll say, oddities, I guess. These I always found like to be particularly horrifying. I do keep them next to my bed, and I've been very disappointed over the past 10 to 15 years that they've not that I've not woken up to find 4 tiny hands and 1 small hand clutching my throat. So yeah, these are marked Japan. And then the absolute best of this one, other than the gold fingernails and the lines in the finger joints, the absolute best is, focus please, there you go, yes, hand decorated. To me it's a bit redundant, but I just found those to be, again, probably some of my favorite things I've ever seen in my entire time existing on this plane, if you will. So again, a few other just we'll call them honorable mentions as far as interesting tobacco accessories. Nice heavy cast iron, most likely ashtray. It's got a street sign on it, which probably had a label at one time, which is gone. But yeah, it's just I believe what you'd call a 1920s era stumble bum. Probably frequented a flop house most of his adult life. It's just a nice remembrance of the time, basically. So let's see. Here's just a glass ashtray wave pattern. I always found this one just to be a bit visually pleasing. Just the blue, the gradient of it. Nice light baby blue sort of coloring at the top, and then it's clear at the base. Yeah, really nice. Here's, I believe, a bronze or brass, if you will, butterfly without antenna, which always bothered me. I think that's why I picked this one up. And it's copyright tan. It's always good to know. So here's one more ashtray. We have one after this, and then we'll move on to other things. But this I was able to find at a thrift store, I believe 5 or 6 years ago, and it's ceramic. It's got nice crazing in it if the camera will pick that up. I don't think it will, but maybe you can see it at the base right there. But yeah, Coors, I expected this to be, when I saw it, easily 1940s, maybe 1950s at the latest. Yeah, it turns out these were made by the probably millions in the 1970s, and if you were to attempt to sell it, you'd probably lose money on the shipping. So, just a nice little life lesson for you. And this is the last ashtray. It's another one of my favorites, just because the glass is very nice, very solid glass, just beautiful to look at. And then the metal, which is most likely just could be pewter, could be plated, something just cheap. And then the poodle dog, where it sits like that, like he's holding the ashtray for you. There's just something about it, I don't know, difficult to explain. But and then the eyes, if you could see, if I had a light, and the eyes just look particularly vacant, hollow, dead, if you will. So anyway, there's that. We'll go through just 2 more things, and then 2 more other things, and then that'll be it. A few cigarette case type accessories. This would go around a soft paper soft pack of cigarettes and help to contain them, stop them from being crushed, which is always nice. There's that, spring loaded, just most likely chrome plated. This one is, it's pretty bent up and out of shape. I believe it was molded like that. Real just awkward, I guess. And there's the name if you're interested, if you do. And then the top opens like that. I believe it would clasp originally, but again, it's distorted and probably was in a heated room or warehouse type space, storage space at one time. Just something different, something interesting. We'll go with this. This was a cigarette dispenser at one time. You pull the roll top back, the tray opens, there's 2 little levers, and then the bars come up, they lift the cigarette up, They place it into, I believe that's supposed to be a dog. They place it into the dog's mouth. You let go of that, and it closes back up. That's pretty neat. And then the top slides, and that's where you load it up. You can kind of see that's an area where that would fall down and be loaded in. Close that up, and I believe this is marked, yeah, it's just marked made in Japan, so probably 1960s, 1970s maybe, but cheaply made, falling apart, but still interesting to have. There you go. And the last two things are mainly what I collected when I collected this sort of thing. You got this and this. This would be Ronson branded Art Metalworks manufactured early version of a Ronson Banker. I believe it had a different name before it was called the Banker, but I don't remember because it's been a long time. And yeah, that's marked durium. That was an imitation gold plating that was invented by Mr. Aronson. And as you can see, it still works. Very easy to, if you know what you're doing, to remove those two set screws. You remove the flint screw and then remove those two set screws. The whole top comes apart. And you can clean out the flint tube. As long as your springs are still good, very easy to make those functional again. And then this, I believe these two were a set originally sold just because the tortoise enamel is identical and they fit the time frame as far as what I can remember. That Art Metalworks Banker, and this is that upside down? There you go. It's a Marathon Clicks. Yeah, Marathon branded Clicks. There you go. Model cigarette case. So you have a spring-loaded holder here. You load your consumables in there, and then closes, stays closed, and then you press the two ends here, which are different material. They're not metallic feeling. They're some sort of, could be an early form of plastic. They could be Bakelite. I'm not sure, but press those two together and the case pops open. And again, the durium plating was invented. It was a gold, imitation gold, invented by Louis V. Aronson, and I believe the case has the same. So that's about it. Again, we'll hope to perhaps record regularly after this. So we'll leave you with that. And thank you. Stay tuned. Please don't subscribe, don't share, don't tell anyone you watch this. You may end up on a list. Thank you.